Yes, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the biggest entertainment show on the planet. Of course, I go by the name Ife Oluwa or Shunke. Hope you had a blissful weekend because mine was fabulous. And of course, yes, you can always tell us how your weekend went by, calling in or just doing it on socials. But anyways, guys, I never do the show alone. There's always one dope person with me. But today, I'm sure all the men out there are looking like, who's that girl that's going to be chilling with Misty today? But no. It is your sugar of Lagos.
What's up, bro? What's up, bro? It's your girl. It's your mama's favorite son-in-law. So let's get things cracking.
It's good to have you back on this
seat.
Like, you don't tell. You
don't tell, you know.
That's like these scenes.
But I've been trying to hustle, trying to, steady grinding like broccoli.
Okay.
You get that right?
It's so good, man. Good to have you on the show. And of course, you guys know that you can join the conversation by calling in on 0909-84848 to share your opinions on trending discussions. But of course, it is a what? It is a Monday. And what do we do on Mondays? We Monday-vate. Of course, it is Monday-vational Monday. So let's see the first motivational video for this Monday. Let's go.
Flea can jump 36-inch vertical. If you capture the flea and you put him in a mayonnaise jar and you put the lid on it, he start jumping. But he gonna hit himself on that lid. But after a while, after getting knocked down so many times, flea only jumps to where he don't get knocked back down. His environment got him now jumping nowhere near what he can. Them fleas have babies. Them babies is born into the conditions of the environment. Guess what? The flea is born with a 36-inch vertical, but because he see his mama and daddy jumping just barely to the roof, you know what he do? He duplicates that behavior. The flea never reaches his potential until you take the top off of your mayonnaise jar. You gonna duplicate your surroundings. Flea can jump 36-inch vertical. If you capture the flea and you put him in a mayonnaise jar and you put the lid on it, he start jumping. But he gonna hit himself on that lid. But after a while, after getting knocked down so many times, flea only jumps to where he don't get knocked back down. His environment got him now jumping nowhere near what he can. Them fleas have babies. Them babies is born into the conditions of the environment. Guess what? The flea is born with a 36-inch vertical, but because he see his mama and daddy jumping just barely to the roof, you know what he do? He duplicates that behavior. The flea never reaches his potential until you take the top off of your mayonnaise jar. You gonna duplicate your surroundings.
Right, I think that's the most motivational thing I've heard all weekend and coming into a Monday as well, because there's a saying we're only a product of our environments, right? So every time that you feel like you're not getting this right, you're not doing this the right way, you probably want this but you're not achieving it, you probably want to do it this way but you can't, it's because of the stereotypical conditions that we are conditioned into already. Do you understand? Everybody says you can't talk like that, it's rude. What makes it rude? Everybody says no, you can't behave like that, it's unethical. Everybody says, oh, that's uncouth. Everybody says different type of things about what you should be doing, but I think that what most of us need to be doing to achieve our full potential is living our best life, dictating our own terms, and sharing our own narratives the way we want it to be told. Do you get what I mean?
Exactly.
But what do you think?
Exactly. The thing here is most of the time the environment kind of influences the way we think, the way we reason, and the way we act. Because just like you said, you wake up in the morning and you just feel like asking someone, how are you? Have you got to that point where you ask an elder, oh, how are you? It's like, this guy's rude.
It happened to me just recently. So I was creating a video for my artist. So there's this guy, I won't even call him like an older guy like that. Somebody that normally I should shake it, but he has tons of money, way more than I do. And of course, in our city, money is respect. You're not even in the city, in the world generally. Yes, once you have money, you're a big man. So I was making a video and I didn't see him, but he expected me to have greeted him in a certain way.
Yeah,
so,
I
but I
get
wasn't
that.
even looking. I was just down below, and he just said, "How fun." He greeted me first. So that's very kind of him, and I appreciate that. And then because I did not look up, I said, "Yeah or no?" And then he came back. And I made it. I waited there until it was sorted because I know what could have been the outcome.
Yeah.
I know he could have felt some type of way.
Well, exactly,
I know you have rooms for opportunities for me. I don't want to lose them to your own pride or your own ego.
True.
Do you get what I'm saying? So yes, I'm going to play the right way. I'm going to apologize. I'm going to tell you it's cool. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Cool. The thing here is sometimes when the society kind of, tweaks you to that, you have no any other this thing. You just have to just oblige. Like, okay, let's just roll this way. Sometimes when you have, let me just say, a lot of money, you just have like, some money to throw around, and you want to just live your best life, like you said. Then you start trying to live it. There's someone's like, hey, you're trying to show off.
Or they try and say, oh, you changed.
Yes, you changed. Then you changed. Why are you trying to show off? Oh, okay. So you know the reason why you're probably using an iPhone that is worth 700,000 there, and somebody who's using a phone that is worth maybe probably 100,000 is like, oh, why are you using that? You don't need that. All you need to do is just to make a call. You don't need to, but you know why you're using it. So the society sometimes.
It's for YouTube channel that has not started, so it gives you.
Do you get it? So things definitely. I definitely dig what he says. Yeah.
Yeah, everything was absolutely apt. Anyways, guys, yes, we have another motivational video for you guys. Let's see that real quick.
It takes a lot to realize you control your own life. You're put into these circumstances where you don't. Mostly, right? People go to work. They work to make a living, to fund their lives, to go back to work, to make the living, to fund it. It's this rap. It's this wheel. It's a never-ending race. You step out of the matrix for a second and say, yo, all I want to do is be happy, or all I want to do are these 6 things. And then you set yourself up to go live these 6 things. It takes a lot to realize you control your own life. You're put into these circumstances where you don't. Mostly, right? People go to work. They work to make a living, to fund their lives, to go back to work, to make the living, to fund it. It's this rap. It's this wheel. It's a never-ending race. You step out of the matrix for a second and say, yo, all I want to do is be happy, or all I want to do are these 6 things. And then you set yourself up to go live these 6 things.
I feel like all the all the videos today are kind of in sync. Because
exactly, yeah.
If you're thinking about what is just telling you right now, is telling you that, man, you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and not caring about your own happiness, your own mental health, the things that actually makes you sugar of Lagos.
Exactly.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you are beginning to think for the society, you're beginning to think for your neighbors, you're beginning to think for the next man, you're beginning to... But what I just want is just to be happy. If me walking down the streets, right, shirtless, it's gonna bring me peace of mind. I'm going to do it.
You should do it.
Do you get what I mean? Like I don't care how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Do you get? You might look at me and say, do you know what they say? That guy if he don't drink, that guy if he don't. Do you get what I mean? Like they always have something to say. But I just wanted that peace at that time. I wanted to do what was going to give me my own personal happiness, and then it don't matter what anybody thinks. And I've become very selfish. I don't know about other people.
I'm learning to be selfish these days.
Yes, you should be.
You know how people sometimes try to conform you and tell you, save for tomorrow. I've been saving for tomorrow for how many years now? And the tomorrow is not coming. You don't. So there's this one time. I wasn't going to the market to buy anything, but something just moved me. I was like, just take a stroll, take a walk. Then I went around the market. I saw stuff that I liked. For every time I want to buy, something said, remember, there's tomorrow. What would you do? What would you? Then this one time I was like, let me just buy stuff. And I bought stuff and I come out of the bags and I come. Then from your friends to the neighbors to the colleagues, they're like, wow, don't you think you're doing too much? But they forgot that that's really what makes me happy.
Okay, so you know what? Like I could relate to what you saying because my girlfriend is that type of person. If it's not like we have money, he's sure, my babe. Like, I want to go to a fancy restaurant, girl. Like,
get it.
I want to go get myself. Okay, I'm craving small chops. Are we going to die? Problem, they finish.
They finish. You need to chop your life.
So I don't bother myself about certain things anymore because I keep telling her there will be broke days. There will be
of course,
there will be days
that yeah.
Look, nobody has is perfect. There will always be downtime moments. So no matter how hard you try, there will always be that downtime moment. Like it's never a bed of roses. Everybody knows this. So why am I trying to be? But at the end of the day, don't be stupid. Don't go waste money on the store. So the things I'm spending money, people will see me, they'll say, my friend saw me which day because he sent me money like a week. He said, guys, stop this scam. Say as you fresh. Do you get what I say? You and Nick, they send you money. Say as I be. Say as
one thing I always say, may we never look like what we're going through.
You get what I mean? And in my head, I'm like, brother, you don't even know what's in the happen. But
I just made a tweet. Someone, I was trying to make a live video in the car. So someone was like, this guy, I just did all these celebrities. And I just remember, like, I'm not a celebrity. I just look like one. I just look like one. So don't think I have it all, shaped out. Yeah.
Or when they go on your pages and they're saying you with all the big people you've interviewed, they say, you're not chilling with the industry people. They don't know that it is a job. Now, exactly. I am a familiar face. I am somebody they know. It doesn't make us friends. It doesn't mean that tomorrow they will send me 1 million.
Exactly.
Do you get what I mean? So calm your nerves, everybody, and just do exactly what makes you happy. Don't think about anything. And of course, if you have any cravings today with a particular food you want to eat and you can afford it and you're thinking your rent is coming up, today is that day that you should chop life. Just enjoy yourself.
But please don't chop your rent. Lagos landlords are not smiley. Whatever you do, don't eat your rent.
But you know what? Sometimes you actually need to let loose and do the thing. I remember when, so another funny story. I remember when a neighbor was saying that, the way I did chop, because then I used to live in an apartment with some other friends, right? And he said he looked at my food one day because I love a lot of meat, right? So if I'm eating one fufu,
that's
I chop out with like 5 meat.
That's what you're supposed to be.
Exactly,
it has to be a busy environment.
He's looking at me like, dude, what are you gonna eat tomorrow? Like, that's why they chop, and tomorrow will take care of itself. Do you get what I mean? That's why and then he came to meet me one day and he advised me. So I was talking about how I was broke one day, and he said maybe if I reduce my food, maybe I'll have more money.
Wow.
I'm like, what?
Wow.
So make I no chop.
Wow. Because indirectly reduce the amount of meat. Pieces of meat.
Yeah, like is that guy that eat with if he cut the meat safe, you go cut that into 2, you go chop one for night.
No, man.
Anyways, yes, of course, we have another motivational video for you guys. Let's go.
Hey you, yes you. Today is your day. You got this. You're absolutely crushing it at everything you do, from your job to maintaining a social life to pursuing your passion projects. You are killing it. Ignore anyone who tells you otherwise, because you're amazing. You're more than capable to take on the world, the whole world, by storm. Speaking of the world, did you know that it's a better place because you're in it? Dogs love you. You're strong, you're confident, you're intelligent, you're charismatic, you're the total package. On a scale from 1 to 10, you are an 11. You're bloody brilliant. You're brilliant. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Hey you, yes you. Today is your day. You got this. You're absolutely crushing it at everything you do, from your job to maintaining a social life to pursuing your passion projects. You are killing it. Ignore anyone who tells you otherwise, because you're amazing. You're more than capable to take on the world, the whole world, by storm. Speaking of the world, did you know that it's a better place because you're in it? Dogs love you. You're strong, you're confident, you're intelligent, you're charismatic, you're the total package. On a scale from 1 to 10, you are an 11. You're bloody brilliant. You're brilliant. I'm proud of you.
And now are you, my friend?
Hey,
that's a big cheer. How do you do, my friend? Anyways, big shout out for that video, because that is just truth, actually, because you are wonderful. You are wonderfully made. You can actually achieve it. And then all the stories today, all the videos today are intertwined, because if you think about it, you're just great. You just have to go out there, push yourself to the limit, do the things you really want to do, stay happy, stay focused, see yourself as amazing, and the moment you stop worrying about what people think about you, you start seeing yourself. That's wonderful. But
and of course, remember self-appraisal. Self-appraisal is always very important. Like I always tell people, look at yourself in the mirror and just tell yourself, man, look, man, I'm good, I'm great.
Dope.
I'm going to
kill it. I'll kill it.
I'm going to make it today. No matter what they tell me. There is some people, right, who wake up happy, but the thought of going to work just gives them that sadness. Like, wow, I'm going to deal with that boss today. Oh, that boss is going to probably do this to me. Or they just get sad. A friend of mine told me was that every time he steps out of his car and he just looks at the sign. There's a big signboard in front of his office that says the name of the office. That mere looking at it, that gives him the sadness. Why? Because he's got that boss that's going to probably overwork him or say something that makes him look less of himself. But one thing I always tell yourself you're good, no matter what they tell you. Only you can tell yourself you can do it.
Right, so, this brings me back to, I always have stories, and this one actually happened in this building. So this girl walks up to me. She said that, when I look at you in person, you're a different person than somebody that I see on TV. Okay. I said, oh yeah, I have split personalities. And guess what somebody else said? They said, no, Ife, you're always happy, you're always smiling. I've never seen you not smiling. Do you understand? So in my head, I'm like, because I created that type of persona, right? Now she thought, maybe because I was on TV, I would be very arrogant. I would be that guy that doesn't talk. You get what I mean? But when she sees me, I'm still talking to her. I'm still as playful. But she's like, you're a different person on TV than the... And then the other girl's like, no, you cannot. If I cannot have split personality. The other day, we're talking about, somebody requested a cab hailing service for me, right? And the next thing, she said that you better check the plate number. Maybe they don't kidnap you. He said, in fact, they cannot kidnap you. And the kidnappers, they laugh. You get, like, so in my head, right, I'm like, all of these things are how you create
you need to create your own happiness.
Your own happiness. Happiness is free.
I remember that Burna Boy song said, what's that song again? It's his last album where he said, I become one person, but my happiness is... You said, that line just keeps you like, no matter what people do to me, you cannot detect my happiness. You cannot tell me this how I'm supposed to feel. I can feel the way I want to feel. I just want to be happy. You can just be telling me all sort of, rubbish and like that.
So people expect you to act differently about certain things or act in a certain type of way, and then you handle it with so much laugh, and it even pisses them off.
Of course, yeah.
Like, because you're talking to me rudely, and you're thinking, okay, I'm supposed to be upset, and then calm, flip as well. Yeah. And I'm like, come on now, what did they do you?
Now let me just quick one, So at this office, so when you have like gangs and cliques and people, so they already planned that. Oh, when Sugar walks in, we're going to tell him. We're going to tell him this. We're going to tell him that. It's going to piss him off, and he's going to act irrationally. And at the end of the whole day, things are going to bust. So I just walked in my regular self, and these guys already. One person started. The other person went off. I'm like, The next I just laugh. I'm like, all right, we're good. We're going to laugh. You see that point in time, they were all shocked. And
you turned the tables like.
Yeah, I didn't even understand what was happening until an hour later. And they're like, man, how can we tell you this? How can we tell you all of this? And you didn't. And they're like, okay, was I supposed to? Like, yeah, she was supposed to. I'm like, okay, but I'm not.
Something happened most recently, and then the one girl kept asking me, how are you still so calm? I said, because now my happiness now, my mental health first. First thing I'm thinking about now is if I flip or I overthink things.
Yeah.
Is it going to change it or solve any problem?
It's
not going to change nothing. So why don't I just treat it the way I want to actually be feeling at that moment? Do you get? But some things are overwhelming though. There are times that you all be like, oh, I don't feel I do that. Me, for me, is when I'm getting broke. If I'm ever getting broke, bro, like I'm the crankiest person in the world.
See, that state of Brooklyn is where no one wants to go.
I'm telling you, man. So I hope we all overcome our brokenness this week, and of course, and you find favor everywhere you go. Anyways, you can join the conversation by calling in on 0909-848-408. And of course, we are moving on to the first story of the day. If you have any contribution as to, the motivational videos, you can also do so on social media, at PlusTvAfrica, or subscribe to our YouTube channel at PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. Of course, Ceeza Milli has revealed that he is most grateful to Starboy Records CEO Ayo Balogun, aka Wizkid, for the success he has attained in the course of his musical journey. Ceeza, while addressing the rumor that he had beef with Wizkid, noted that nothing of such ever occurred between himself and the Ojuelegba singer. He further stressed that his relationship with the Grammy Award winner is very much intact. The singer avowed that the story of this musical exploit is incomplete without Wizkid. He further cleared the air, saying that he never wrote any song for Wizkid. Like, you have to be grateful. If I was Ceeza, I would be grateful to Wizkid for, what's that song? Is that, oh yeah, Sucker.
Yeah, the Sucker track.
Sucker. That's what brought out Terry. It's only one guy from that music video that we still don't know what he's up to. You get, like, the third guy, right?
I'm trying to remember now. I can't remember though, but that's why we can't remember. Because it's not relevant. It's not doing anything.
Starboy Terry, we feel like Starboy Terry is not where he should be, but at least he keeps putting out stuff.
The thing here is, there are certain labels, all right? There are certain people, there are certain artists. I do tell people this, but they never want to listen. There are certain artists where you associate with, you might never go beyond where you are.
Yes.
For example, as Wizkid.
Thank you very much. I've said this before too.
So there's no disrespect to Wizkid FC or Wizkid fans, but here is it. Wizkid is such a big artist that if he signs anybody or he probably brings anybody up, the fans are going to stay focused on Wizkid and not
the artist.
The artist. So the same thing. So even if he features, of course, if he features any artist, the artist has a tendency to actually make it. If the artist knows what he or she is doing. And now here is the artist who, someone like Olamide takes somebody you've never heard of before, drop a line in the party on the artist's song, and boom, the artist is everywhere. But if Wizkid does the same, it won't go far, except you're already established in some form. Do you understand what I mean? So, for instance, people are like, oh, but Wizkid touched, the Thames, song, but the Essence tune with Thames.
But it was his song.
Yeah, but what's his song? I'm like, but you guys don't understand. Thames already had things going on for her already, so it was.
She already had crazy things.
Do you understand? So if Thames was just an upcomer, somebody who is not really, and is not going to work.
I can sing like 4 of Thames' song off the top of my head right now, but I can probably sing Starboy Terry's songs, right? Maybe when I'm listening to them, but I can't remember.
The truth is, I don't even know any of Starboy
Terry's songs.
I don't know any of it. So maybe I know the song by hearing it, but I don't know this is Starboy Terry. The problem, the fact that these guys already think they're superstars before they become superstars. I keep saying it. So when an artist feel like, oh, because I'm hanging, there was a time. There was a time I interviewed a top celebrity that came with his other prodigies and all of that. Do you know this? The top celebrity was more humble than the guys he came with.
I've seen that happen so many times.
I interviewed this guy
in the studio.
And he was so humble, just telling me his stuff and trying to, even show me pictures, chat from his phone. Then this other guy that he was telling me, whispering in my ear, sending me a message, that, Papa, I'm an artist, BD, so help me the jamming song. I was like, yo, bro, tell me how this guy was giving me attitude. Like, So how would I
want to help you?
Do you get it?
So I'd say, at least that's an artist. Maybe they've told him that, okay, this is your image,
Yeah.
He's all right.
But
what about the photographers, bro? See, that's the worst of the managers. The managers think they think they're the superstars. And the superstar is a superstar and still very humble. But the manager will come all buffed up and say, oh, you want to talk to my...
Shout out to all the managers, man. There were times on radio, where I had to send out the managers. I just wanted the artist and the photographer. Because there's something about the managers, something. you know, radio, when you interview, you have a screen yourself.
Yeah.
Apparently, you have some questions you want to ask. That this one time, a manager came over and stood beside me and was pointing out a question I shouldn't ask. Some controversial. I want this interview to blow. Why are you telling me not to ask
this particular
question? So the next time, I had an artist. I was like, look, I told the producer, like, look, I don't want any manager inside. So manager, stay outside. Let me have a one-on-one with the artist. That way they would pour their heart out. They won't have to be looking at manager. You get it.
So I totally do understand, you know, where you're coming from with the case of Starboy Terry and of course Wizkid. And like you said, Wizkid is such a superstar. He's a global star that we're just talking about being selfish sometimes, right? There are times that it's not greed, but there are times that he has to be selfish enough to know that this kid is also still pushing himself. Exactly. Do you understand? And he has gotten to the level where he doesn't even have the frivolity of time to be jumping around and be jumping behind one artist and be saying, oh, yeah. He's busy. He's out here today. He's out there tomorrow. They are calling him today. They are calling him tomorrow. So you see, I totally agree. I think this is the first time I'm going to be saying this out loud on television. And you just, you know, read my mind when you said it, that, you know, there are certain artists that would sign you or certain record labels that will sign you that you may never, ever move from.
Especially if that's a label owner is an artist himself. Big.
Yes, that's a good one, man. Thank you for that one, my guy. Anytime, bro. Yes, of course. The other guy's name is Spotless.
Sorry, Spotless, my G. Funny enough, I knew Spotless right from when he was a kid.
Like, oh yeah, so where's he? Where's Spotless?
I don't know. You know Spotless, Techno's brother, younger brother.
Tell me you're joking.
Now let me do this.
So I never knew that.
So back in the days when Techno used to just hover around the studio.
Okay, now I understand.
Now you get it right. So he used to just come around and, you know, Spotless was that guy who would just like, he would just come to the window and he peeps, he looks at us, then he probably gives Techno a sign like, yo, daddy's coming. You get it? So he wasn't really the artist type. I think we influenced his growing up because virtually everybody he knew around him were all either music producers, artists, whatever, photographers and all of that. So he grew into that lifestyle. But I think he wasn't that guy. Yeah, he isn't really that guy. And I felt, you know, Techno shouldn't have been selfish enough. Shouldn't have been that selfish. You know, probably just tagged him along no matter how.
No, I think, no, okay, so for me, right, if I'm affected by
you know, he was signed at some point with Convict Music, the Spotless guy. Yes, because that's what I'm saying. So he got all the big platforms, like
he just
Convict
didn't
Music.
Use them right.
But the thing
he didn't want to.
Maybe he wanted to, but then again, like we said, there are some people who, you know, this thing is not really for them.
And apart from that too, there are times that you just need to give people their own time to shine. So I'm going to, you know, talk about something that has been affecting me personally. So my brother works in MultiChoice, right? And I've always wanted to go for Big Brother. But every single year, because he works there, he's in charge of Big Brother, and I audition. He tells me, dude, you're wasting your time. Our last name won't let you get in. Do you understand? Like, yes,
true.
Already people are saying that Big Brother is staged. Do you understand? Like, they have their candidates. Now, imagine
But do you think Big Brother isn't staged?
According to...
Do you think people don't... you think you and I will work in such an environment and we would not have friends?
Our own candidates.
One guy could tell us, say, once we would have
I will say, okay,
but we would got a profile.
We will still let you get it on merit, but we would influence.
Of course,
yeah. Excuse me. So, you know, like things like that actually happen, and I feel like, okay, I can bring that into perspective with the Spotless Techno thing as well, because if you're thinking about it, he's Techno's brother. But as well, Techno when he had this vocal cord issues, he kind of like went on the low for
He's still on the low now.
But Techno is it's maker, always making bangers. I don't think like Techno has any song. I think Techno falls in the same category as those people who have no bad
Techno's
songs.
last banger was Davido's If.
Excuse me.
Techno last banger was Davido's Eve, and ever since then.
Is Pana before Baby Pana? Is it before Eve or after
No,
Eve?
that was before Eve.
Oh, okay.
Eve was the last Techno's banger that we heard.
No, it was not even. He wrote it. He gave it.
Yeah.
We understand, but
So ever since then, nothing, you know.
I think it's because of the medical conditions as well. Should we put it on that? He couldn't sing so much. Taint is on the low at the moment as well. You know, she has the same issue.
Yeah. I think what Techno already had his life all figured out, because because somebody I grew up with, he used to tell us this is what he wanted. I'm not sure he's going to do music all his life. He needed a certain standards in life, and now that he's attained some of those things, like, man, okay, look, man, I think this is good. I'm just going to enjoy my life. I think that goes to the last motivation. It's doing what makes him happy. He's good at making his beats and just probably selling to people. By the way, he's got a new song, Pay Me.
Pay Me.
Some people think he's talking about Davido. Yeah, Davido
What's
didn't
the
pay.
story? He says it's your childhood friend. What's the story? You know, let's spill it out here. Do you think it is for Davido personally? Be honest.
No, the Techno that I know, I'm not sure as for it's a mere coincidence. I'm not sure he want to probably just go off on Davido like that and be like, yo, because no matter how Techno is, he still has to respect and be like, yo, man, I respect this guy. He's kind of my boss. I know what's up. So I think it was just a mere coincidence, owing to the fact that, you know, what's his name now? This other guy came out. Dami Crane came out and was like, yo, man, Techno, did they even pay you? And that was something in confidence. I'm not sure Techno came out to tell him, hey, they don't pay me. It was like, guy, take it easy now. Even me, that stuff I heard was just amazing. The guy don't give me shishi, but I love what we did, what we had. Then Dami Crane went with it.
But that would be a bad thing, because if you're looking at the music industry, right, there's always this issue of they don't pay. Now, I'm also going to bring it into Nollywood, right?
Yeah.
No matter how bad Nollywood movies are, if it's 5,000 naira per day that they are paying, they will pay you that 5K that day before you leave set.
Yeah.
But you know, musicians have this thing that they will say, I go pay you, I've even had, you know, gigs for people where, you know, they say, okay, yeah, when the job is done, you get XX amount. But as soon as they get what they want in the music industry, everybody goes your way and they forget that, you know, you always need it again. Do you get what I mean? And I feel like that's another thing that needs to be addressed, which is why, I don't know if you saw the story last week where we're saying that it's good that Afrobeats is growing, it's good that it's getting its international recognition, it's getting the global values and all of that. But if we're not careful because of our lack of structure in the music industry, it would be snatched from us. Now, look at the Americans are beginning to tap into our own industry already, and we think like, oh yeah, it's a good thing. Yes, it is a good thing, but do we have that structure? Now look at what happened with Tony Braxton and Burna Boy with the 60-60, and everybody was thinking, oh, they ripped Burna over. You get, but is telling you that he's making that's the song that he has made the most money from since he started his career. Do you get what I mean? Like, so I feel like structure is very important. If Tony Braxton didn't have that structure, he wouldn't have been able to, you know, have claims to the 60%.
I think in Nigeria, everybody's hungry. Every artist is hungry. So nobody really wants to look structure or look at, let's put pen to paper before we do anything. Everybody, let's just do it. Even we sometimes. Do you know, a friend of mine in the UK was telling me like all these artists that I interview, like, you know, sometimes the interview pops up at some wherever, or they use it for some other things. Do I know I'm supposed to be probably getting something? I'm like, oh, sorry, I didn't know. Even after he told me, I still went on doing interviews, all right, without me asking, okay, where does this go to, who do you guys want to use it for? So because everybody's hungry, either for the money or for the fame. So that's why most artists would never want to probably just say, they would just, make I just do this one, maybe this one will blow me. You get just same thing. I heard the story of a gospel musician's producer, popular female gospel musician. And he said he wrote the song, one of the biggest songs. Now, that's Sinach, that he wrote one of the biggest songs for her, and he's not gotten royalty. And his first pay he got to actually travel her to South Africa for, 7 days or so, she actually promised him 30,000 there. And he asked for 100,000 naira, and she said, no, that's too much. Let's do 30,000 naira. Do you get it? In my head, I'm like, okay, you said, why you go ask for 100,000 naira to go for 7 days to South Africa on the song that you wrote and you give out? So, but the hunger there, that's the whole like, man, let me just tag along with this person. Basically.
All right. So me, okay. So I always like to bring things, back to where we can all relate. I've been mentioning my artists. Big shout out to Larry UG, by the way. And of course, yes, I've been mentioning my artists, and I contribute a lot whenever we're creating music or wherever we're, creating content and all of that. And there was this day I told them this thing. I said, dude, so we had like a little bit of an argument where I was trying to explain certain things to him. I said, dude, let me explain something to you. We're gonna make money off this music, but you're going to be richer than me off this music.
Obviously. Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like, look, I could do so little, and at the end of the day, you can decide to drop. I can do so little or do so much, and tomorrow you can say, oh man, I want to change my manager. Tomorrow I want to do this. Tomorrow I don't want to be here no more. But you are still making money off things that we have created together, right?
Yeah.
And I told him that for every time I write a song, I'm going to take my credit.
Of course, yeah.
From start. So we're doing like a voice note where I'm saying, oh, Omo, you they like how I create these parts. Do you understand? Like I'm just having my receipts ready.
Exactly,
and I'm putting these things on the cloud. So it's not like tomorrow they say the stone is lost. It's on the cloud. Do you get? So at the end of the day, I'm beginning to set the structure because I actually believe in my artist and I know that he's going to be a mega superstar. But at the end of the day, do I want to cut myself short from now and be saying we're creating? Because
but you know something, yeah? At the end of the whole day, he's going to have more money than you do, and it's going to be a very long court case as long as he wants it to be. If he says he's not going to give a dime, this is Nigeria. It's like it's not going to work. So what I usually advise is this,
pen to paper.
Yes, what you have is evidence, but you need to actually have him sign. Because just over the weekend, a friend of mine hits me up, and she was like, yo, man, I want to go for a certain reality TV show. I'm going to be big. I've gone to this. I'm like, okay, yeah, same thing you did. So I sent messages as well, typed, voice note, and like, hey, I need access, express permission to access your social media account, take over it, and rebrand you, make sure everything goes on fine, because that's where people will come for you. And, and the person was like, okay, yeah, cool, let's do it. Then in my head, I'm like, this is step one. Step two is getting you to sign this stuff. Because at the end of the whole day, if you go and you come out and you're like, oh no, there's some guy that wants to take my hard work would have been. So sometimes it's always good. Let's put pen to paper. Even if it's just, I agree that this will happen. Even if it's just 3 lines. 3 lines are good, yeah.
And then they also forget about, your own contribution. There was a day that, somebody heard something we created that was so raw, and the person was asking, oh, who wrote the song? And I was already smiling, thinking my artist would say, oh yeah, he did. Do you get that kind of thing? But
so on one of my songs,
and he was feeling the vibe like this world.
Yeah.
Do you get? But now I am able to say all those things because I already cleared that air. Now imagine other people, they will sit down, angry, sober, are sad about it. But I can talk about it because I can look at you to your face and be like, no, you didn't. I did. Which is why I told you from the start, before we started this project, that I'm going to be taking my credit for every line. The split sheet is going to be intact. Do you get what I'm saying? It has to be intact. I'm not going to be sidelined at some point at the end of the day, but I'll take your advice and create a contract. So Larry G, you're in trouble. Anyways, guys, let's go on a quick music break and we will be right back.